Now for our final lecture, and something that's near and dear to my heart: social awareness, civil engagement, and social change through technology and media. My dissertation for my doctorate was interactive documentary for social change, which is creating documentaries, breaking them up into smaller bits and putting them on the web in different areas such as a website, Facebook, YouTube, and spreading them out so that you get as many people as possible to see them and hopefully become socially aware, get civically engaged, and then create social change. So what is social awareness? Social awareness or social consciousness is defined as consciousness shared by individuals within a society. It essentially means to be conscious or aware of the problems within your society or community. Being aware of different problems in society, being especially sensitive to the needs of those less fortunate or animals, children, people who need our support. The recognition and realization that we are all connected. Civic engagement. This means working to make a difference in the civic life of our communities and developing the combination of knowledge, skills, values, and motivation to make that difference. It means promoting the quality of life in a community through both political and non-political processes. Civil engagement is the broader motif encompassing service learning, but not limited to it. It refers to the ways in which citizens participate in the life of a community in order to improve its conditions for others or to help shape the community's future. And social change. Social change is a broad umbrella. It encompasses a range of typical social and civic outcomes, from increased awareness and understanding to attitudinal change to increased civic participation, the building of public will to policy change that corrects injustice. So with civil change, we could be talking about a whole range of things, just making somebody think just a little bit differently. Or maybe disagree, but agree to disagree and accept your ideas, all the way to changing laws. Media and social civic engagement and involvement. The worlds of print, television, and radio have collided on the internet, blurring the segmentation of traditional media, allowing anyone to access all of these industries have to offer at a click of a button or a swipe of a finger. People still read the New York Times, watch CNN, and listen to NPR. But now some are listening to their podcasts and NPR in the gym, following the New York Times on Twitter, and catching blasts from CNN on their smartphones. With this collision, the lines between traditional media and social networking have all but disappeared, leaving new media landscape that everyone in the emerging fields of advertising, publishing, marketing, and PR, public relations, must learn how to navigate in order to stay relevant. Savvy organizations are now developing their own original content that lives on websites, YouTube channel, Facebook pages, Twitter feeds, creating sources of timely and accessible information that they have total control over, and spreading awareness and sparking action in target audiences without having to depend on traditional media to get the word out. This is exactly what I was talking about, the interactive documentary for social change. You spread out your original content, to all these different areas, and then the feedback you get is from all different places, and that just multiplies. It's a beautiful thing. If we look at political and social engagement, when we look at statistics, social network users use 38% of social network users use the like button to promote material for social or civic causes. They encourage others to do so, 31%, and they belong to a group that is involved in political issues or social issues or working to advance a cause. 21% of all social network users. And I have a feeling that's going to rise up very quickly. A great example of this with the social civic engagement and the change for the cause that was created by media is the Ice Bucket Challenge. This thing exploded. Everybody was using their phones and they were uploading it to YouTube and they were sharing it on Facebook. And thank goodness it made ALS something that people talked about and gave money to. 48% of 18 to 29-year-olds decide to learn more about political and social issues because of what they read on social networking site. And 57% engage in political activity on social networking sites and nowhere else. This is half of our young adult population is only using social networking sites to get involved in political issues and social causes. So we need to stay on board with it. The approach or goal is to take advantage of all the communication tools at our fingertips and use them as drivers of positive social change. Using all relevant social media, YouTube, blogging, and creating authentic and interesting content, which is good storytelling. And then we need to create a niche. This is a big deal, and you're going to hear more about this in the coming year. Mining the digital niche. In an emerging global economy, the concept of niche is becoming increasingly relevant in the way we think about business and culture. Niche organizations are becoming more apparent as the world becomes more complex and dependent on technology. The internet has given people unlimited and unfiltered access to culture and content, and audiences have begun to absorb the content that isn't necessarily best-selling. This is the long tail. If you haven't read The Long Tail, it's a really interesting book about how the head of the animal is where all the big business is, and the smaller businesses, the niche businesses, are down at the end of the long tail, and they have their specific people that just go to them and make them successful. Nonprofit marketing campaigns have to be direct and focused in order to target their appropriate audience. Niche marketing is a creative way of analyzing marketing data so that your campaign captures the attention of your relevant audience. Developing a niche allows people to gain an insightful understanding of who you are as an organization. As an example, a niche would be if you were animal rights advocates, let's say, you might want to go after, say, vegetarians. If you're talking about animal rights as far as factory farming and such, your audience is usually not meat eaters. So you probably want to find your niche in the people who only eat farm-raised animals, farm-fed animals, open range, that sort of thing. So if you have an interest in advertising, marketing, niche is a really interesting topic you may want to look more into. Niche marketing is a segment of the market in which a specific product focuses on very specifically. Niche marketing allows nonprofits to focus on doing what they do best because it lets the product speak for itself. When it's presented to the right audience, a thoughtful nonprofit should sell itself. Psychographic analysis gives you great insight. Psychographic analysis is doing research based on people's personalities and lifestyles and interests and attitudes. That's perfect for niche marketing. People will respond to an organization that offers solutions and answers to issues that they face in their normal lives. As a nonprofit, your ultimate goal is to make a sustainable difference in the world. In order to enjoy success in niche marketing, you must create obtainable goals that you will show your audience that you are truly invested in bettering their lives. Here are some examples, and these are all in your Moodle this week. These are things for you to look at. The first is a reading, and it's an interactive social action, how virtual reality is being used to educate and emphasize. This is really interesting stuff. It's new at Sundance this year, and it's the use of virtual reality to create social change. So you'll see it in the interactive documentary or the reality a virtual reality documentary, Across the Line, that you're also asked to look at this week. I just gave you a trailer for it. We can't see the whole thing because it's not completely out yet. But also there's a video about Youth Speaks. It's a group out of the San Francisco Bay Area that young people go online. It's a lot of poetry. It's a lot of interactive media. They create original content videos to tell about what their world is about. Interesting. Interactive documentary, The Ghosts in Our Machines. This is an animal rights activist who created this, and she was nominated for an Academy Award. She's won several awards based on this interactive documentary. And an interactive documentary is a little different. You go to a website and you kind of click through the different areas and watch the different videos. It's if you've never done it, it's fun to do. The virtual reality Across the Line, as I said, that was part of the interactive social action readings. This is a virtual reality experience about a woman who is going to a Planned Parenthood clinic, which some people refer to as an abortion clinic, and the way she is treated just to try to get in the door, regardless of what she's going to have done. So you become part of the experience with her. And then there's another interactive documentary called Question Bridge, and this is about the relationships and understanding of African American men in our society. They ask questions and they answer questions. So it's really interesting to see different people's answers to these questions that African American men have for each other. Here are some of the references that I used if you'd like any more information. If you're interested in interactive documentary for social change, please send me an email and let me know. It's something, like I said, is near and dear to my heart. I really hope you enjoyed this week's information and the videos that I have uploaded for you, and I hope you have a great week.